hello. I should probably move that out of the way because no, my luck, I'm gonna freaking knock it. Hey. So, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Mariah, and here on my channel, that's like university and videos for important content. So, just that, which is subscribe, notification bell all. So, you let me say video. If you can see the steam, it's because I have my very studenty meal here. Super noodles. Super noodles, and I've got a hot chocolate waiting for me after the super noodles. Weird concoction, but hey hey. I realised I haven't given you guys really much of an overview of how the placement's gone, and tomorrow's my last day. So, as you can tell from the title, give me a second. This thing is not mixed properly, but as you can tell from the title, I did mental health and learning disabilities. I did that for 5 weeks in a private setting, which is interesting because all my other placements have been in NHS settings. So that was interesting, and it came with its own things I was able to see. It opened door, but also it had its strengths and limitations. Basically, what I'm trying to say, of being in that type of setting. I don't know how I'm going to structure this video. I'm just going to kind of talk roughly, give you a rough overview of what I did each week. So, week 1, first day, disengagement training is basically what to do if somebody. I should probably give you another background. So, the title of my placement on my in-place site that the university gives us our placement applications in says mental health and learning disabilities. I was placed with the neuropsychiartic division, physiotherapists, and that were based there. Again, 5 weeks. I typically saw people with brain injuries, Huntington's, Parkinson's, and dementia. Some of the people are there for various different reasons. Some people are just develop the condition and are there because it's the best place for them to be because of the condition and for other reasons that the hospital was able to help them with. Other people are there again for those reasons, but also because they have forensic backgrounds and they're there to do, I don't want to say do their time, but kind of do their time in that sense while they're there. So, it's interesting. So first day, literally first thing I had to do was disengagement training. Give me a second. I do this every time. Get down to the last biscuit. For some reason, don't eat the last one right away. I'll eat that. Wait, this thing doesn't want to stay closed. I should just eat the last biscuit. Oh, probably gonna be a while. There we go. Cool, sorted. Anyway, so we had to do this engagement training. So it's if someone bit me, for example, what do I do in that situation? How do I not disarm them, but get them off me, basically. What to say, their actions and all that. So that being the first day, it was a bit just oh crap, what am I getting myself into? Bear in mind, I didn't know much about mental health setting in terms of physios. I didn't know much about what's it called, the hospital itself, and what's done there. But that was one of the first things I did in the first week. And then second week on, it was seeing patients, getting used to patients, getting used to wards, getting used to the fact that they have the wards have different levels of security. It's not like on the NHS, any ward you can walk on perfectly fine by yourself. Whereas for me, for your own one as a student, there's not a lot that I can do independently without the presence of somebody else there. And for security reasons, I need the presence of somebody else there for security and safety, etc. So yeah, that's that. That's a quick overview there. So as I said, the main things I did, disengagement training. I've done outcome measures as you typically would do. The other at the start of this week, I did enriched dementia model training, and that was very interesting. As I did in my last placement, I made sure I got to spend time with other members of the MDT. So I spoke to the forensic clinical psychologist, and that was a good talk. Just talking about their role in the whole rehabilitation process, and just talking about life in general. So it was it was interesting to be shrinked, lol. But yeah, no, that was good. It was a good talk, and I also spoke with the falls prevention physiotherapist, which was cool. But yeah, and I think if you're wondering how I managed to do that, it's really just about speaking to your educator and explaining like what your interests are and what you want to do. I think if you have a good educator, I mean, I had a good educator. Shout out Ruby, Ruby, bless, bless. But yeah, no, if you have a good educator who you're able to talk to and like they understand exactly what you want to do and like you express like these interests, I think it's the like it's something they should support you with in getting there. And if it's obviously not achievable, it's they should let you know if it's not achievable. But mine were achievable, so I was supported throughout that and like just giving contacts of who to contact and stuff like that. So yeah, very great educator in that sense. Yeah, today was my last day to be educated because she's not in on the last day, but it was great, a great run. Um, a great run with her. So she will be missed. This placement will be missed, to be fair. Like the 5 weeks have gone by very quickly. Yeah, very quickly. You tend to find that like with a placement, you like the 5 weeks or how many weeks or how long the period of time it goes by very fast. Um, so yeah. Um, as I kind of touched on about the whole security and things like that, that I would say would be the downside of the placement because it's not like with other settings where you could be a bit more autonomous. Whereas that's like a limitation to this one is that as a student you're not really able to be autonomous, and I think if it was my first placement I wouldn't have really picked up on that because your first placement you're typically not handheld but like you don't typically do a lot by yourself, whereas it's my third placement, so it'd be different considering that next week I start my fourth placement, and on that one, and literally on the learning outcomes they sent us, they've already like, yeah, you're taking lead on things and da 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 da. So it's gonna be interesting seeing how like different type of leadership works. Like, don't get me wrong, I was able to say what I think we should do with the patient and like lead that session and stuff like that. So I improved and like my final was really good, and my halfway was really good, and took on board all that feedback, which was great. Do I think mental health physiotherapist is a setting? For me, I think as a setting I could work in for a certain amount of time. I don't think I could work in it long term, like forever. Mm, but and that's just mostly because of not because of the setting itself necessarily, but like I mean yes and no. It's more like what the people, what staff see on a regular basis and like what they deal with. Um, I will touch on it. I probably have touched on it by now, like on my reels and stuff. Like you're more likely to you have to work on things slightly different. You have to take a slightly different approach. And I imagine like after a while it can be not draining, but like take an emotional toll on you because you may have like with the disengagement treatment you may have someone who randomly bites you, or you may get hit, or you may get someone yelling at you, and it's not their fault. You know, it's for the most part it's the condition. Um, but I feel like after a while either you become numb to it or it starts to take a toll on you, and that's why it's a good thing that they offer the psychology services, which gives you the opportunity to talk about these things and like clear your head because they really understand that it's going to take a toll on a person, and obviously with that kind of help you're able to keep staff for longer periods of time, um, which is really good, really good. But yeah, like I said, this video really doesn't have really much of a structure. If you have any questions, just ask them down below in the comment section. I completely forgot what it was called. Ask me down below in the comment section if you have any questions about like mental health physiotherapy, any more detail in terms of what I've seen or anything. If you head over to the @arrayray.it Instagram account, I've done a post. Well, I'm going to post a post about what I did for my case study, which is basically just comparing Huntington's, Parkinson's, and dementia, looking at like their presentation and their physiotherapy outcome measures, looking at that, which was very interesting, and I was very proud of that, and I will insert the pictures of how proud I was in a minute. But yeah, overall, very good placement. Learned a lot. Learned things that I feel like I probably wouldn't have learned in a different setting. I am happy that this was my neuro experience, as neuro is like an area that I've always seen myself going into, and I'm glad like it wasn't in your traditional setting. Yeah, I think it shaped me a little bit better, and it's gonna be strange not going there on Monday. Yeah, I've gotten used to like I know the commute and everything now. Like yeah, but that's life. It is what it is. Third placement down, fourth one coming up, and then the fifth and the sixth, and then graduating. But anyway, I'm gonna get onto my ramen and my hot chocolate before they get cold, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.